Remember how embarrassed Blue Jays fans were in May when the Oakland A swept a 4-game series at the Rogers Center, outscoring the home side 27-12? The A's arrived with a 21-22 mark, while the Jays were 22-21 after a fast start in April. The Jays were looking to rediscover their winning ways against a team presumed to be also Rens in the AL West. Well, Jays fans, be embarrassed no more, at least for the sin of losing to the A's. Since their team charter touchdown in Toronto 2 months ago, Oakland has posted a 36-21 record and has the 6th best mark among 30 major league teams, behind only the Red Sox, Astros, Yankees, Mariners and Cubs. Chris Davis, seen here getting congratulated by third base coach Matt Williams after hitting a 2-run homer off San Francisco's Johnny Cueto, is the only A's player making more than $8 million this season. Ben Margo, The Associated Press. The difference in those 6 teams? The 5 teams ahead of Oakland are all spending $157 million plus on payroll, while the A's sit at a modest $66 million. Only DH Chris Davis earns more than $8 million for the A's. The Jays, with a humble record of 46-52, boast a top 10 payroll of $162 million, with 7 players earning more than $8 million and 3 players combining for $56 million currently sitting on the disabled list. The A's faced the San Francisco Giants this past weekend in the back end of home-and-home series surrounding the All-Star break, the unofficial Battle of the Bay. The A's walked off the final 2 games, Saturday and Sunday at the Coliseum, won 4 of the 6 games, drew an astonishing 146,290 fans to their 3 home games at a horrible ballpark, and moved to within 3 games of Seattle for the second wildcard spot in the AL. This is one of Athletics president Billy Beane's best efforts. Article continued. Belleroy, a time on the baseball calendar when the A's are normally perceived as sellers, expected to rid themselves of expiring contracts and players that have become too expensive for a team that usually ranks near the bottom in home attendance. The A's just added pricey reliever Jeurys Familia from the Mets, adding to an already solid bullpen, one of the areas that makes them contenders. It's not like the A's are taking advantage of a weak division. They play in the strong AL West, a group that entered Monday 48 games above .500. The always powerful AL East is 19 games above .500. The AL Central's first-place Indians are taking advantage of a whole lot of tanking going on, with the Royals, Tigers and White Sox. The Central is a pathetic 84 games under break-even. The outside perception of an organization contending a budget is that it must have rebuilt using wise draft picks and a blossoming farm system. Such has not been the case in Oakland. Only 4 players on the current 40-man roster were signed and developed within the system: first baseman Matt Olson, third baseman Matt Chapman, utility man Chad Pinder and talented reliever Lou Trevino. The starting rotation consists of 3 unwanted free agent castoffs: Brett Anderson, Trevor Cahill and Edwin Jackson, plus an emerging 26-year-old lefty, Sean Manaea, acquired in a 2015 trade with the Royals. The A's stout bullpen consists of 6 pitchers acquired in trade, including closer Blake Trinan, 1 draft pick Trevino, 2013, and 1 6-year free agent, Yusmeiro Petit. The truth is that the A's tend to rebuild every few years. They are like an NCAA college program where 3 years of control leads to arbitration and, eventually, players pricing themselves out of a small market and finding replacements. Back when the A's emerged as Moneyball darlings in the early 2000s, the hype overlooked the fact they were led by a trio of homegrown starting pitchers, Tim Hudson, Barry Zito and Mark Mulder, who in 2001-02 combined to go 113-46. The A's won 100-plus games each of those seasons, but failed to get past the ALDS. In fact, the A's have advanced to the playoffs 8 times since 2000, losing 6 times in the ALDS and once in the wildcard game. They advanced to the ALCS in 2006, losing to Detroit. There seemed to be performance limits on low payroll. Article continued. Oakland is on pace to win 92 games this season and miss the playoffs. But they have a chance if they make wise deadline moves and are patient. Importantly, they are an example to the Jays that a rebuild does not have to be long and painful if there's a plan. Jays fans are not a patient bunch. We've seen these trades before. The Raptors' panicky reaction to losing in the second round of the 2018 NBA playoffs, again to LeBron James and the Cavs, seemed eerily familiar. If the playoff loss to LeBron is what led to the Raptors feeling they needed a change of direction to take the next step, if that's what led to the trade of organizational icon DeMar DeRozan to the Spurs for the talented Kawhi Leonard, then it was reminiscent of the Expos' reaction to their 1981 playoff loss to the Dodgers on Blue Monday. Montreal traded Larry Parrish to Texas for Al Oliver. Parrish was the spiritual leader inside a young Expos clubhouse. Fans might not have realized his importance at the time, but his teammates did. The Expos had come within one run of advancing to the 1981 World Series before Rick Monday's homer in Game 5 of the NLCS. They had a young roster that was only going to get better. But team president John McHale wanted changes and tore the heart out of the clubhouse, trading the 28-year-old third baseman, who had been with the team for 8 years and loved the city. How bright was the future? The only player in the Expos lineup over 30 years of age was shortstop Chris Spire, 31. There were 3 future Hall of Famers, Gary Carter, Andre Dawson and Tim Raines. But that one loss to the Dodgers changed the direction of the Expos for the next decade. The Expos bringing in Oliver, one of the top 5 hitters at the time, in exchange for a star player who was loyal to the city was similar to the Raptors bringing in a top 5 NBA player for a star player that was loyal to the city. Just 2 years earlier in 1979, Parrish finished 4th in NL MVP voting behind Willie Stargell, Keith Hernandez and Dave Winfield. He and Mike Schmidt were considered 2 of the top third basemen in the league. But the organization felt a change was needed to upgrade its pure talent and go all the way. Well, Oliver had a fabulous statistical season, leading the NL in average .331, RBIs 109, and hits 204, and earning the fan vote to start at first base in the All-Star game played at Olympic Stadium. Oliver was one of 4 Expos with 20-plus homers in 1982. Raines and Dawson combined for 117 stolen bases. The Expos finished in 3rd in the 6-team NL East and didn't challenge again until the 90s. The DeMar trade may work out for the Raptors, but remember, talent doesn't always measure success. There's something to be said for loyalty and leadership. The top 12 payroll teams, payrolls compiled by Baseball Prospectus records through Sunday games. 1. Red Sox, 70-31, $233.2 million x2. Giants, 51-50, $200.5 million 3. Dodgers, 55-44, $186.2 million 4. Cubs, 58-40, $183.20 MX 5. Nationals, 49-49, $180.80 MX 6. Angels, 50-50, $166.7 million 7. Yankees, 63-34, $166.10 MX 8. Blue Jays, 46-52, $162 million 9. Astros, 66-36, $160.30 MX 10. Cardinals, 50-49, $159.7 million 11. Mariners, 60-40, $157.90 MX 12. Mets, 40-56, $150.60 MX not in playoff position. Richard Griffin is a sports columnist based in Toronto. Follow him on Twitter, @GriffinStar.